talking about or learning about how to monitor your application performance using application insight. So for those of you who are new to the cloud or Azure Cloud, application insight is just a tool. Say you have a web app and you want to monitor the performance of this web app you have built. You can use application insight to achieve that. So basically, this event is basically about. So I'm gonna go through a series of tasks. We're gonna, in the next section, we're gonna do the actual lab itself. So it's just a set of instructions on how to achieve this. So basically, if you want to have an application you want to monitor, you have the front end and the back end. So the back end is the database, and the front end is the web app, whether it's a Python-based app or JavaScript or say any other programming language app. So the monitoring application insight monitors any language of the app which you have built. So we're gonna deploy a Patch and Unlimited project. So Patch and Unlimited project is like a template of group of tasks that consist of a web app and a SQL database. And so basically, if you follow this instruction, you can pretty much deploy it yourself on Azure environment. So first we need to create a resource. So the resource we're going to create is a web app plus a database. So in this case, it's a SQL database. And when you select the web app plus the SQL published by Microsoft, so that is it. You select on it. Next, you click on create. So on the background, where web app plus a SQL database will be deployed for you. And next is that you need to now give a name. So you will see something like this with a series of information. So you have to give your app a name. The subscription is already there. Then the next thing is to select a resource group in which you want your app to run. So basically, you can use, say you have already an existing resource group, you can use that, or you can create a new one. Then you have to select which region you want this app to run. So say Southeast Asia or Western Europe or something like that. And then the application insight name. So in this case, pool.ai.John Doe has been given as a name. Then the next is to select the option to configure the SQL database. So we need to provide information for your SQL database. And so how you do that, you have to create a new database and then enter the name. So this is a subscription. You're already giving the resource group name. You the SQL database configuration, create a new database. So you give the name here. And then that is it. So this next is just to look at the server name for your database. So provide a server name, a login name, and password and location. And further up, you now click on select. So by default, the template will generate an application insight resources, and then of which you attach it to the app service. Like this, yeah. So next you have to create then you have to click create to create the resource. Normally you might create the app service plan first. So an app service plan is like, in terms of consumption, Microsoft will ask you, say you want to run on a web app, okay, what is your consumption plan? That way you use, or you'll be provisioned with an app performance based on, say, standard or advanced features. That way you can control your costs. So next, we go for task 2. So deploying a web app to Azure. So now we now have to go open the browser. We have to now go to Azure Devops environment. The default demo project includes a continuous integration build that we can use as it is. So I don't know if any of you have used Azure Pipeline, Azure Devops before. So Azure Devops is made up of 5 tools. So Azure Bots for project management, Azure Repos for versioning. Pipelines is where you do your build. So you can do your build pipeline, release pipeline, and test plans is where you do your testing. Artifact is for how do you call it, artifact management or package management, this kind of things. So for now, we are going to be using choosing the pipeline environment, and then we select on the drop down. We select the release pipeline. So you will see there's an already existing pipeline in the project. We use for our deployment. We'll click on exit. So basically, you will see kind of a first job and 2 tasks already queued up. Now, select the dev stage and click delete to remove this stage. And then you have to now confirm the delete. Next is from the remaining production stage, click 1 job, 1 task, like this. And then you have to select the app service deploy stage. So Azure App Service Deploy. Now we need to resolve some information, so you can see some settings need attention. So first we need to select provide the name of Azure subscription, and then we need to authorize and authenticate it. So because why this is because you are using Azure DevOps environment to do deployment on your Azure. So you need to sync your Azure environment and into the Azure DevOps environment. And that's what we are doing here, Azure subscription. And then you authorize it. And then you have to return back to the pipeline. Then click the pre-deployment conditions button for the production stage and select after the release. So what will happen is just look at this will start up a release pipeline after the project build pipeline succeeds. So you could see here, it's the triggers. Yeah. And then you have to now go on the pipeline variable. So when you click on the pipeline variable page, you can update the website name variable to reflect the app service name used to create the Azure App Service, like this. And then click save and confirm it. So you have to save. Now that the release pipeline is in place, we can expect any commit to the master branch to be built and released to production. So next we have to navigate to the repos view. So from the repos environments, use the navigation to open the Paths Unlimited ASP8 Paths Unlimited website, web.config. And then this application already has configuration settings for the app and insights and for a SQL connection. Then make a note of these values so we can instruct the Azure portal to supply them with settings generated by the app service created earlier. Then click edit. So you can do make a cosmetic change to the file. So by clicking on commit. And then a new build will begin, ultimately result in a deployment to Azure. You can continue to the next step while this happens in the background. Then switch to the Azure portal and get to the app service created earlier. So like this, pool-ai.john doe. And next is let's see the configuration tab. pool.ai.john doe. As you can see, click the edit button for app inside instrumentation key. So this is the default setting added during the app service creation and already contains the application inside ID. So we would need to add a new certain for the one expected by our app, so we can copy the value from here. So know that this is a specific case for our example, for a sample app, because the source has application side SDK added. So then we have to copy the value and click cancel, like you can see here. And next, click New Applications, Settings. Then we need to set the name to keys, application insights, instrumentation key, and paste the value from earlier. So now we have to click OK. As with the application insight key, we also need to update the name of the SQL connection string. Click its edit button to connection strings, and then update the name of the setting to default connection string and click OK. You can see here. Okay. Click Save to save the configuration settings. And then you have to return back to the Azure Devops tab and navigate to the pipeline view. You can see. So if the build has not yet completed, track it through until it does. And then we have to navigate to the release view. Next is to now we need to follow the release pipeline through the completion. As you can see here, return to the Azure Portal tab and navigate to the Overview tab. As you can see here. And then we have to click the URL to open this site in a new tab. The site should load as expected. If it's not ready yet, refresh the site tab every minute or so until it loads. As you can see, that's unlimited. So this is what you will see on your screen, the website. So this website will be deployed. Next is to come down to task 3, generating and reviewing application traffic. Navigate around the site to produce some traffic. After generating some traffic, click the breaks menu item. So you can click on the breaks menu icon. Manually append one to URI and press enter. So this will produce a site error since the category does not exist. And then we have to refresh the page a few times to generate more errors. So like we see we have done. Then return to the Azure Portal browser tab and select the Application Insight tab. You can see Application Insight. Then we come down to 6. This tab includes instruction for how you can deeply integrate Application Insight into your apps, while the default experience produces a wealth of data for traffic in monitoring apps. So you can see different application in which your app is on. So this app is run on .NET. You can also run it on Node.js, .NET Core, or Java. So next is we click on View Application Insight Data. So we click on that. So the dashboard view should already have the traffic you generated earlier. If not, refresh the data every minute or so until you can see some activity in the charts. So this is the application insights. So these telemetries gives us different information about the app performance. So that's what we mean application insight app monitoring. So here it gives you server request. So when was the request made? Also gives you information about availability. Here it also gives you server response times. So the time the server have to respond to a request. You can also look at failed requests here as well. So these are just application insights give you telemetry information about your app. So that leads us to task 4, investigation application performance. Now we have to select application map tab. So click application map. So application map helps you to spot performance bottlenecks or failure hotspots across all components of your distributed application. Each node on the map represents an application component or its dependence, as well as health KPI and alerts status. So this application map, you can see. And that's it. So 47 views in 2.2 seconds. Select the smart detection tab. So smart detection automatically warns you of, say, potential performance problems in your web app. It performs proactive analysis of the telemetry that your app sends to application and site. So say, for instance, if there's a sudden rise in failure rates or abnormal patterns in client or server performance, you can get an alert about it. That is smart detection. Next, you can also, from the icon drop-down sidebar, you can also select on live metrics streams. So live metric streams gives you so kind of a live metric stream of the web app. So who is visiting your app? How often does your app return to a request made by somebody? And also, how does the server return information from the people who's visiting it? All these kind of things gives you such an information. So then we have to return to the site's browser tab and perform some navigation to produce live traffic. So it also we can also return to Azure Portal tab to see the live traffic as it arrives. So you can see here, so this is live metric streams. So request rate, incoming requests, request duration, request failure rate, and also gives you outgoing requests, dependency calls, dependency call duration, and also the code failure rates of the dependency. Now, next you can close the current blade. And then we can select search tab. So the search provides a flexible interface to locate the exact telemetry you need to answer questions. So click here to see the data from the past 24 hours. So so you can click here, so you can see data in the last 24 hours. And so that's the data collected for the last 24 hours. So you can see there's 804 dependencies, 53 requests were made, 50 people viewed your app. So this is quite interesting information using which application inside that can give you information about your web app. Next, we can click group results. These results are just generally based on how they share common properties. And that's it. So next, we can also click on expand the event tabs drop down. And then we can deselect everything except the exception, as you can see here. And there should be some exception available from the errors generated earlier. Click one of them. You can see. So this will provide a full timeline view of the exception within the context of each request. Click view all telemetry. As you can see here. The telemetry view provides the same data in a flat view. So you can end transaction. So you can see all the information. So you can also review the details of the exception itself, such as its property and call stack. So again, you can also close the current blade and select the availability tab. As you can see. So after you have deployed your web app or website to an any server, you can also set up tests to monitor its availability and responsiveness. Application Insights sends web requests to your application at regular intervals from points around the world. So it alerts you if your application doesn't respond or responds slowly. So you can click Add Task, Add Test. And so you have to provide a test name of homepage and select URL to the root of your site and click Create. So that's what we have done here. So the test will not run immediately, so there won't be any data. So say you check back later, you should see the availability data updated to reflect the test against your live site. So don't wait for this for now. So that's it. So you can also look at select the failures tabs. You can also see if there's a failures, say for responsiveness of your app, all these kind of things. And you can also see the telemetries here. Let's see. So this will represent a list of exceptions from this HTTP response code. So you can also select the performance tab. The performance view provides a dashboard that simplifies the details of application performance based on the collected telemetry. So you can see. Select the metrics tab. See metrics. So metrics in application insights are measured values of and counts of events that are sent in telemetry from your application. You can also see server requests. Or you can also segment your data using splitting. Click apply splitting. And set values to operational name. So this will split the server request by what page that you are requesting, which you can see from the different colors in the chart. So that is it. So tax 5, I will look into this next time next month when we have this another event. For now, in that section, then we can run everything in once. Yeah. So I think for now, this is what we can cover. If you want to run this yourself, I can also share this. And you can try it out. So you can also use your, say you have like a free version, free subscription from Microsoft. You can try out this lab yourself. Yeah. So I don't know if any of you have used, built a web app on Azure environment or used application insights to monitor the web app. Hello, anyone yet? Have anyone used it yet or not?
No, I haven't used App Insights.
Okay. But have you built a web app on Azure environment before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So if you're interested, I will share this lab to you guys. Then you can also look at it and try it out yourself. So in the next month's event, we can run this together and do have a lab section of it and try it out ourselves. So that way, so I believe that people learn better when they try things out themselves. And if you have any question, you run into a problem, you can also let them, we can sort it out live, or you can send me a message or whatever, then we can also help you with that. So that way, when you do the lab yourself, you learn quicker and better. So I don't know if you have any question or anything related to this presentation or anything, any question in general, you can also shoot it now. Adebowale, any question? So if no question, yeah, I wish you guys a nice evening, and I will share this with you guys. Have a nice weekend.
Okay, yeah, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.